Great. And up next, we have another game of a sort. So games really are not trivial endeavors to build. So we have a great project coming up next. I had a lot of fun watching this team develop their creative features for this code execution platform, essentially. And much like Mafia, they overcame a lot of the real-time synchronization issues, and then they wrapped up this whole thing in a really entertaining and appealing wrapper. So I would love for the engineers at Codemon to tell you all about it.
Hi everyone, my name is Daymis Vargas, and today I have the pleasure of introducing you all to Johanna Fulghum, Veronica Smith, and Heather Kopenski. And together we are Codemon. When brainstorming ideas, we knew that we wanted to gamify productivity in some way. And if you've ever ventured to master the world of programming, then I'm sure you're familiar with Code Wars. Code Wars uses a queue system, so new users start at level or Q8 and progress downwards the more they code. With Codemon, we have the vision of incentivizing our users to solve challenging coding problems by leveling up or training their Pokemon. As a new Codemon trainer, you'll be gifted a random Pokemon. And you will also have the options to battle any other users that may be online. And for this functionality, as soon as a user logs in, we post their unique socket ID to our database. This will be explained more in thorough detail later, but for now, Johanna will explain our implementation of our text code editor.
Thank you, Daymis. We integrated React Ace Editor into our layout so that the user can type in their solution after they choose a Pokemon to train. After the code is executed against our test suite, the results are fed back to the database where they inform how our Pokemon collect experience. If our Pokemon collects enough experience, we use Redux to dispatch an action to trigger the Pokemon's evolution. When we were designing this application, we knew that we needed to protect against potential malicious user attacks or untrusted code. So that's why all of the user's code is run inside the NPM module Sandbox. Sandbox protects live servers and their data from untrusted code and provides support for timeouts and memory errors. Now Veronica will talk about the implementation of wild Pokemon attacks.
Thank you, Johanna. We created the front end of our application using React, and we use Redux to maintain a predictable state. For the wild Pokemon attacks, we utilized a library called React Responsive Modal and constructed custom Redux middleware that would execute for each action that was dispatched. But the modal would only open for certain actions while simultaneously passing along the initial action that was dispatched. For instance, if the user is in the middle of a battle or attempting to battle someone, they can't be attacked. But if they're just clicking around on their page, they have a 5% chance of being attacked. This would trigger the modal to render on top of the current page, and they would then have the option to run away, which will close the modal, or solve the problem and capture another Pokemon to train. If they opted to solve the problem, they could then head over to their stats page where they could actually see that the Pokemon has been added to the database as one of their own and now renders under their statistics. And now Heather will finally tell you about our battle feature.
We worked with the Socket.io library to allow users to battle one another in real time. When a user clicks battle, a new fight is created in the database, and another logged in user is randomly fetched based on their unique socket ID. Once an opponent has been selected, an event is emitted that triggers a modal to render on the defender's page. They're then prompted to select a Pokemon, which updates the fight in the database, and upon clicking accept, an event is emitted back to the challenger, which notifies them to fetch the updated fight information. Both Pokemon are then rendered on the user's pages, and then they battle. As developers, we are always striving to improve, to put our abilities to the test, and to be the very best, like no one ever was. And what better way to show off your programming skills than with a level 100 Charizard? So we had a blast building this app, and if you guys would like to catch them all, check us out at codemon.us. Thank you very much.
All right, if you like to vote for Codemon, like the post, like the pinned comment. I don't know, I find like doing those kind of things can be very addictive. So I don't know if combining that along with Pokemon is a good idea for not spending too much time practicing coding interviews. But you know, there can be worse addictions than that. I think that was very well done. Nicely, nice integration of the Pokemon component along with the Code Wars aspect.
I'm the same. Cannot be trusted with games, especially if they have coding in them as well. Like you saw the grin on my face when they finished up. I can't wait to get my hands on this.
Awesome.